Justus Walker, farmer, video blogger and online prophet from the Altai region. Justus Walker moved to Russia with his family of Christian missionaries when he was 11 years old. He has been living in Russia for the last 25 years, mostly to the north of Krasnoyars, but recently has moved to the Altai, very deep into local goat farming, sustainable agriculture, home education, Christianity, philosophy of positive and rational thinking, as well as spiritual growth.
Greetings, citizens of the world, and welcome to Krasnoyars. My name is Justus Walker, and my family moved to Krasnoyars and Krasnoyars territory in 1994 when I was only 11 years old. I spent the last 25 years in Russia, most of those years spent north of and near and around the city of Krasnoyarsk. So I often think back fondly to the time that I spent there, even though I now live with my family on a small farm, about 240 acres, in the Altai region, which is quite a ways away from Krasnoyarsk. When the organizers of the event that you're at right now asked me to make a little video and greet Krasnoyarsk and greet the wonderful visitors to that beautiful city, I of course jumped at the opportunity, considering it a great opportunity and a great honor to do so. So we're talking about global challenges. The overarching idea of the conference today, or the event, is global challenges. So one of the things that I think about when I think about modern global community, globalization, is the great opportunities that are provided to each one of us. I mean, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 50 years ago, 30 years ago, how many of us would have been able to travel across the world and even know about a city like Krasnoyarsk, let alone actually visit it? And so the increasing flatness of the earth, so to speak, the increasing smallness of the globe that we all feel due to technology is a great opportunity for us, because we can travel and experience other cultures, other ways of life, other ways of thinking about things, other ways of doing things, and really gain and add into our toolkit and our knowledge base really wonderful experiences and wonderful new visions of how things can be done. Sharing, community, building those relationships that can really come in handy in our life. But one of the greatest global challenges that's married to this concept, that's actually interwoven into what I've just been talking about, is one of the greatest global challenges of today. Isn't even global warming or income inequality or any of those things that are actually challenges. One of the greatest challenges is the attention span deficit. Because I think we as humans, we're problem solvers. We can solve any problem that can be thrown at us. I think that's one of our great things as being made in the image and likeness of God, is that we are creators and we can create and we can solve the problems that come up. Be that global warming or social injustice, anything, we can solve those problems. But the thing that we have to have in order to solve the global problems, to be an answer to those global challenges, is to have an unadulterated and undistracted attention on a particular issue. And so here I am, kind of a little hypocritical, recording this 5-minute video on attention span, trying to grab your attention and talk about how it's so important to have to not be distracted. But really, I mean, we can solve issues, but the one thing that we need in the modern age to do that is to stake a claim, to put a stake in the ground and say, this is my field of battle. I'm going to change something in my local area, in my particular neck of the woods. Because we can travel the whole world, either physically or virtually. We can go out to the most exotic and most interesting places in the world. And like I said, put those tools into our toolbox, gain that information, gain those resources in our knowledge to make a change in our local area, if we have a local area to go back to. So the temptation is to think that we can just make a repost in Facebook or like a video on YouTube, or make a video on YouTube like I'm doing right now, and have some significant deep change. And for the most part, that's a myth. Deep, long-lasting, sustainable change happens when each one of us, as a creative human being, stakes out a place in the ground and says, I will make a change here. I'm going to make a change in my home. I'm going to make a change in my backyard. I'm going to make a change in my small community. And out of those changes, big changes happen. So I think one of the greatest global challenges, like I said, is having people understand that we can't live on the interwebs. We can't make the real changes there that need to happen in the world. Each one of us has to have that place that we call home, that place that we go back to after our great traveling and our great experiences, and we say, you know what, I may not be able to save the whales, but I can definitely save the water resources that are sitting right underneath my feet here in California or in Kansas or wherever I happen to be. You know, I may not be able to solve global issues with waste disposal, but I can sure figure out how to change that in my own locality. So global challenges, there are a myriad of them, but they all start locally, and the changes to solving those challenges, to solving those issues, have to happen here. As far as I'm concerned, as far as it happens with me, I believe that Russia has a great future. I believe that Russia is destined to become the greatest agricultural power in the world, to feed Asia, China, Pakistan, India, Indonesia, all these countries that are just overwhelming population just south of our borders. It is our destiny to feed the world, and the way that I am see my contribution to that is to act locally, of course, by having this farm here in the Altai and trying to help teach others how to farm, how to do it in a sustainable way, and how we together can really, really move forward and solving the global challenge of sustainable, environmentally friendly food that isn't going to leave a desert for our children to inherit. Think globally, but act locally, and that's the way that we are going to solve those global challenges. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. But now I hope that you will to collect all the different things that you're hearing today, that you're hearing through your travels, but go back to some particular spot, stake out a claim, and change the world.